When you put the green shirt on, safety comes on with the shirt. We're in a trade that is dangerous. It's inherently dangerous. If you take a moment out and not on guard, then there can be a horrible price to pay for that.
It's been 15 years since Jim Kopke's accident, and his story remains an important one for all at OTIS.
It actually was a spectacularly beautiful day. Nobody goes to work with the idea, today's the day I'm going to get hurt. I stand there 1 foot on the still, 1 foot on a ladder, and I reach up with my emery cloth to clean the little bumps off of the door track. I felt the elevator toe guard touch the top of my hand coming down. As I felt that, I knew I was in trouble. I thought I pushed the stop button. Evidently I didn't, because the elevator continued to run. My arm got run in between the front wall and the elevator, got stuck in there, it came down, my foot stuck on the sill. As things broke, I was able to fall down into the pit, but when I fell backwards into the pit, my left leg is still stuck to the bottom of the elevator. Well, fortunately, as soon as it started to take off, that little bit that was left connected to my foot came free. I can hear the blood hitting the floor. I hollered, and there was a wonderful lady who heard me. I told her who I was. I said, please call 911. I'm bleeding bad. I don't know how long I can hang on. When the fire rescue people got there, they put me on a flat board, lifted me up onto the lobby level. They literally shut down traffic in downtown Sarasota so that I could get to a helicopter that they'd landed in a parking lot. The next thing I remember is coming to the next morning in the hospital, in a room full of people, people from OTIS holding my wife's hand. And I remember saying to her, I'm sorry, and I know our lives are changed forever. I had to learn to walk. I had to learn to do all of these things all over again. Everything has to be safety first. You put the green shirt on, it says safety first. That's who we are.
The accident has had a big impact on you and your life. How has it really impacted you over the last 15 years?
Well, I mean, the simple truth is it doesn't end. The impact of that does not end. And the last time I talked to you, I'd been through 20 plus surgeries. Well, now I've been through 30 surgeries.
So Jim, if you could talk to our 33,000 mechanics, what advice would you give them to work safely?
Whatever you start, whatever that job is that you start that day, you start by clearing your head, survey the situation. How do I do this safely?
When I talk to mechanics, a lot of times they tell me there's a lot of customer pressure. And when they have that pressure, they will sometimes, they won't think, or they'll take a shortcut and they'll have an accident. What advice would you give in that situation?
There is no substitute for doing it right.
Right.
There just isn't any substitute for right, and there's no justification to take a shortcut here. Most of the time, that customer, even if they're in that heat of the moment, are really upset when they've had a chance to back off. Be sympathetic to them, understand their predicament. Remember, the customer's probably getting pressure from somebody too.
Right.
But in the end, we have to do it right. That means safely.
Everybody in the company will stand behind you. We'll stand behind the mechanic and stand behind safety, and safety comes first. We're doing the best we can to find ways to improve safety, and I wanted to have Jim see some of the advancements. This app really has two purposes. We call it the Shield app. One part is the wedge, and the other part is to detect if you need help. If you fall and you're injured, it will actually detect that you've fallen and call for help, even without you calling. Or you can hit this, or you can shake the phone and it will call for help.
When I was sitting there upside down, if I could have taken that in my hands and just gone like this, that would have compressed the amount of time it took before I got aid.
If for some reason you had an accident and you were unconscious, if the phone doesn't see anything for a predetermined amount of time, it will automatically call for help. We're going to have the ability for you to add a personal photo of, your spouse or friend or somebody just to remind you that, hey, this is what's important in life. I need to be safe.
Go home to your family every day.
Yeah, I mean, that's the goal.
Right.
This is going to help us not be complacent and do things the proper way.
So often we're the only guy out there, so this is a great tool.
We invest in safety. I mean, it's all for that that one reason, and that is so that everybody goes home safe every day. That's what it's all about. Thinking about family and just thinking about friends, thinking about colleagues is a good trigger to always remember, hey, I gotta put safety first.
Oh yeah, the more significant the accident is, the more the trauma of that accident, the more the consequences of that accident are visited on other people. The OTIS family is important. I have mechanics that come visit me in the hospital. You develop these relationships that last forever.
Yeah, and I think our mechanics care about each other.
I just don't want somebody else to go through this.